Greetings to all life forms and life workers who have found this demonstration of psychic services, tarot, and oracle card demonstration. I am your host, the Third Eye Lion. Much gratitude and welcomings to you all. I will begin with one card from each of the 7 decks for a message for anyone now or in the future, and then I will begin readings. Summer. So during this season of summer, if that's what's happening to you in your place in this world, know that you can feel the light, the warmth, the joy of summer at all times. Summer reflects out and shines all year long. People think and visualize the summer even in the coldest months of the year. Know that the heat and the warmth that you desire exists within you, and trust in the water and trust in the energies to bring those energies to you when you need them the most. Deck number 2. The Occultic King. Also the Cultic King. Existing both together. Know that cults and brainwashing and giving up your power to other sources and blindly believing what people say is how the cults control you. The occult is the teaching that all the information you need exists within. You do not need to give any power to anyone else. You have it all within. Or the cult king, they want your power. They tell you that all the power you ever want can be gained from an external source. Or the occultic king says it can be gained from an internal source. Okay, deck number 3. The 4 of Pentacles. Remember that you hold all the wealth you desire. All of the abundance you want exists in your thoughts, in your heart, and in the palms of your feet. You are connected to the city no matter how far away from it you are. Your wealth affects those all around you. Be open to share, be open to educate. But remember that you already have everything you need within. You have the ability to create endless wealth, and you already have that now. You just have to see it as abundance, even though it may not appear that way. Hello. Okay. Deck number 4. The 4 discs. Remember, same message again, but a little bit different this time. You hold the wealth at your feet. All around you, there's so much abundance. But if you hold on to it so tightly and you hold it straight to your chest and you're not thinking about it and you're not aware of this wealth, and you're focused on something else, you're neglecting all of the splendor you have accumulated. You're neglecting all the power you have amassed. Just remember that giving is living and living is giving. By sharing your resources with others, you are open up to those resources coming back to you. Thinking. Your brain is a computer, so use it. Know that these thoughts are like programs in your mental computer. They go in, they get processed, and then they become obeyed in the reality that you live. Remember, you are your own coder, your own programmer. You decide which ones go in and which ones are operated on. Know that your thoughts create your reality. We live in a mental realm. All is mind and all is mental. Allow your thoughts Allow your sensations that are attached to those thoughts to be changed, to be transmuted from one solid state to another. Mental alchemy. Message from deck number 6 is the Essence Warden. To remember that you are in control of your energies, your essence, your life force. Know that each person you meet, each energy that you interact with, gives you more insight on yourself, but also to remind you to be your own warden, to share your essence with those who are respected, but protected from those who will disrespect it. Trust your intuition, trust the elves, and know that the magic is within you, not without you. Last message here, and then I will start doing readings for questions or energy forecasts. You could choose 1 through 7 of the decks I have listed in the description box, and type your question in the chat, and I will begin that after this next card. The Hanged Man. Don't let alcoholism, doubt, fear, all of these watery, liquid thoughts in the storm above us prevent us from doing what we're here to, is to see things from others' perspectives, to experience the full experience of being a human, to exist with the mind's eye wide open, to be the third-eyed version of yourself, to completely open it up, and then the heart eye, and then the palm's eye. Know that what you see and what you feel, even if no one else sees or feels those things, is valid, is a correct thing, no matter if it's a good or bad feeling. Allow it in, process it for what it is, and then transmute it to what you want it to be. And sometimes leave it as is. Both are equally valid, and both will help the soul in its own way. So love, believe, and support yourself. I'm doing very well today. Hope you are as well. Updating the list. Okay. If you would like a reading, you can type which of the 7 decks, type your question into the chat, and I will begin those. Any questions? I will continue to give messages from Spirit until a question shows up. Peace. Know that deep down inside, that the infinite essence of yourself is in an internal sense of peace. Peace of mind, peace of heart, peace of body. That word peace has a few meanings in this English language. It means contentment, joy, excitement, but it also means a fragment of a whole. It means a small portion of a larger quantity. Both are probably valid when we think of the piece of the body. But know that you are whole. Know that all things exist within and are just shown, reflected, magnetized from the outside. Remember your joys, remember your passions, and they will just amplify. Be at peace with how things are and how things are going to be, because that's the only way we can change. It's through peace of mind and peace of heart. I'm doing well. Hope everyone here is as well. If you have a question or would like an energy forecast, please choose one of the 7 decks and type that into the chat. I will begin those as soon as I receive communications from you. When we express our power and we refuse to be slaves, we refuse to give that power up to another system, oftentimes we are lambasted, we're attacked, we're discredited, but this gives us more power. This shows us who are supporting us and who's not. Because when we can be that bison, that strong will of a creature that leaves the land ever changed in its wake, we begin to plant those seeds of the grapes, of that flow of sweet life force coming from the planet. And we can create and echo our power out in the universe. And know that this wealth, this abundance that we have, everyone can have, and we can educate them on that, on how to plant their own grapes and how to fill them without the wrath. Resources. Remember that all the resources needed probably already exist. All you have to do is find the right person to ask. There is always a support team. There's always qualities here, echoing and changing at all times. Know that you can always find the resources needed. I'm doing very well, Shirley. Do you have a question, or would you like an energy forecast? But I am doing very well. Blessings to you. How the crushed Denver feels about you. No communication. His feelings towards you are in complete contrast and conflict with his feelings towards himself. He feels kind, loving, emotional, joyous feelings for you, which he is incapable or unwilling to feel towards himself in this now. I can give more information of one of the decks if you would like to choose, or I can choose for you. But intuitively, there is a block. I'm doing very well. I hope you are as well. Yasmin? Okay. You can either tell me when to stop shuffling, or I'll stop when the energies compel me. Let's go 7. Yes, you can join. Thank you. Updating the list. Hello, everyone. Feel free to stay after your questions. The information might resonate, even though that is not your question being answered. Adding you on. Okay. What does Denver think, and why no communication? Okay, so Denver is not playing their music, is not making their art, is not shining their light. They believe that in this dark time, their energy is so drained, they are unable to be passionate, unable to be joyous, unable to feel the positivity. They're preventing this communication because they do not want to be controlled by their love for you. They do not want to manipulate or control you with their emotions, with their negativity, which is preventing the communication. They believe that their anxieties and traumas would negatively affect all those around them, so they're isolating. They're not expressing their passion. They're not lighting the match. They're afraid it will go boom. The truth of the matter is all these things are reversed. If they trust their passions, if they start making the music and the joy, and they continue their heart call to communicate with you, all of these issues will be resolved. But until they realize that for themselves, they will continue to not communicate. They are in the darkness, they're in the silence, they're in the chaos and the isolation, where they have many people who will break all of those for them if they just choose. Okay, so Yasmin, you can choose 1 through 7 for your friend, or I can choose. She wants to know about the guy she loves and if he loves her back. Thank you. Okay. His name is Kevin. Okay. Stick with 7 here. So our question here is TBL is for TBL, and she wants to know about KA, and does KA love her back? So either you can tell me when to stop, or I'll stop when the spirits compel me. Thank you all for the thumbs up. It helps us battle the algorithms and fight the robots. Yes. Peas and carrots. Thank you very much. So I'll give you a very straightforward answer is yeah. He loves her a lot. And this is a very powerful type of love, of sharing, of closeness, of communication, and of compassion. But the issue that is coming forth is KA doesn't believe they're strong enough to be with them. They do not believe they hold the strength to express that love. They believe that they're weak, that they're not loving, that they're not compassionate. These are all very false. This is probably because they have issues with their mother. They have a fear of birth, a fear of life, and a fear of death. To them, a cradle and a scythe are the same. Death and life both are scary, both bring negativity to this person, which is preventing them from fully opening up to their love. And knowing their own unique passions and their own energy will help them overcome this. So they do love, and they have this love, and they want to share this love. But they have fear and trauma about life and death. They don't want to lose what they have, and they don't want to bring more in either. This most likely stems from negative relationships with their own mother. They will overcome this and find the beauty in this relationship. Just continue is my recommendation for your friend, is to share, communicate, and tell them how they feel and open up a dialogue about your parents, about life and death. I hope that helps you. Yes, sweetheart, I will add you on. And your friend has a good friend, Yasmin. You can tell her I say that. Okay, YOLO, YOLO. What's the SAG? To know it is his SAG true, current, genuine feelings, intuitions towards me in the future. Okay, you can choose 1 through 7, or I can choose for you. Number 5. Okay. You can tell me when to stop, or I'll stop when the energies compel me to. The current, genuine feelings, intentions towards you in the future. Stop when the angels tell me. Yep. So their intentions is not the most positive, and I will explain that here. So they think that they are being positive. They think their intentions are loving and genuine, but they're very much false, and they have a lot of false programming and false beliefs that would generally affect you through their thoughts. Think of it as a thought poisoning, where they are not making progress and they are not embracing progress, which would then thought poison you in the future, because they are not at peace with themselves and they do not like to see that peace in others. So their current feelings is to help you with peace and progress, but because they don't know them and they don't understand them, what they will actually be doing is thought poisoning. They will be planting the seeds of doubt against your peace. They will putting the barriers against your progress, because they currently do not feel these things for themselves, and this is blocking them from supporting you in your peaceful and progress. Just know that your thoughts are very important. You can still be with this person. Just guard your thoughts. Do not pick up their negative thought patternings. Be able to look at it objectively and say, this is what I think, this is what I feel, this is my progress, and this is my peace. If you don't have these things, that's fine, but you are not going to take them away from me. And you might have to say that, and you might have to communicate that you're not going to follow their whims. You're not going to be like they are. You get to be yourself. And they care about you. Their intentions is to help, but it might actually hinder. So just be aware of your thoughts. Remember, each thought is like your brains are like a computer. Every thought's a program. And we are the only ones who are allowed to do the code, to be the programmers, to decide which ones are run and which ones are deleted. I hope that makes sense and answers your question for you. Thank you. Continue your safety as well. Okay, Julie J, you're up next. You can choose 1 through 7, or I can choose for you. Question in particular, or an energy forecast. Well, I've given you all choices here. I find most of the other readers here on YouTube don't give many choices. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, will Jay ever take advantage of you financially? So, not intentionally, but yes. Yes, the shipwreck siren. So, this is someone who claims to be loving, they claim to adding positivity, they claim to be beauty, but what they actually are is destruction. And they will lie and manipulate. Probably some of these taking financial advantage would either be towards COVID related, pandemic related financial schemes. There's a lot of them going on now. Whenever any tragedy happens, there's two types of people: people who legitimately want to help the victims of a tragedy, and those who want to monetize and continue to take advantage of those in a tragedy. I see that happening. Also, a way that they will take advantage of you financially is through hallucinogens, either mushrooms, acid, other types of shamanic initiation tools, tobacco. And these things are very powerful in small doses. But in large doses and repetitive doses, they don't serve much power, and the shamanic experience is weakened. So just be weary when they start suggesting doing hallucinogens, and also be wary when they want you to donate to charities. Those are usually the main types of scams, because they usually will benefit somehow from that. They don't intend to. They do not want to siren you. And just know we can be addicted to a lot of things. And sometimes we're addicted to a person. And that person has their own addictions. So it's always good to remember that you are powerful, you are loving, and you are joyous by yourself. And if someone matches those frequencies, let them in. If they don't, wait. Because sometimes they will come back and sometimes they won't. And it's okay either way. Hello, JJ. I'll add you onto the list. And just to clarify here is, I support the shamanic experience. Small quantities of mushrooms once a year or so has a lot of benefits. Microdosing of anything is very powerful, and I recommend. But doing repetitive, larger dosing of anything has negative experience. I define it off of the principle that all medical fields are based off of. It's called the venom principle. That a small micro dose of venom is a medicine. Any large doses of anything is poison. Oxygen, water, light. These are all medicinal things in small doses. In large doses, they're all poisonous. So everything in life is about dose. Okay, so Pooja, if you are here, you're up next. Okay, so Pooja. Yes, I'll add you on the list again, Julie J. Okay, Pooja and Sweetheart, you're up next. If you have your question, you can type that in the chat. Either you can choose one of the 7 decks, or I can choose for you. I'll share a proverb here. Is the king who has everything they want still has unanswered questions about the mysteries of the universe. So the king has their soldiers go out and find the most powerful mystic, the most clear seer in the land. The seer is brought to the king. The king asks, "Please, seer, tell me, will I rule forever?" The seer says, "On this planet, surely, but on others, your rule is limited only by your own dedication." The king is confused, doesn't know what the seer is talking about. Other planets? All there is this one planet, the king says. All there is this one kingdom. Now answer me, will my kingdom last forever? The seer uses their sight and says, "Yes, this kingdom will exist forever, but it will evolve into the empire of the earth." The king is angry now. "No emperor will ever take my power. Are you here to usurp me, seer?" The seer says, "No, I am here just to answer your questions." This enrages the king. The seer is starved and put in the dungeon. One night the queen comes, asks seer, "Please tell me, does my husband the king love me truly, or does he just love for my family's power?" The seer says, "The king loves the power and all those attached to it." The queen responds by opening the cage and letting the seer escape. She says, "Never come back. Never let anyone see you, and hide. Your visions are too powerful, and the world's not ready for them yet." The seer only listens to half of this command, ends up in the forest, and begins to give readings to the trees, and lives that way for the rest of their life, knowing that everything they see comes true, but most people cannot hear this truth. So that's a long parable, but if you understand it, there's a lot of secrets in it. But Pooja, you're up next. You can choose your question or energy forecast, one of the 7 decks, or I can choose for you. I'll start that up for you. Ooh. This is a good question. I like this one a lot. Okay. So tell me about your property that you live right now. We want to sell it for many years now, but something or some other thing come in between, and we do experience some type of ghosts. Wow. Okay. I chose one that has the most ghost energies for you. So either you can tell me when to stop, or I'll stop when the spirits compel me. So first thing about ghosts, that huge misconception is ghosts are probably just echoes held by solid mass structures, either buildings, objects, and the planet itself can hold echoes of voices, of actions, are echoed in the structures, and they come back unprovoked, sometimes provoked. And this affects the whole geographic area. So there can be purging of these ghosts and spirits, but I'll give you more information here. So I can stop when I'm compelled, or you can tell me when to stop. Yeah. I've done that, Julie J. In Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. There's quite a few haunted hotels, and they cost a lot more per night than the non-haunted hotels. But whether or not it's staged or real depends on who you ask. But I tell you this, I didn't get not one wink of sleep the night I spent in a haunted hotel. And if you hold a lot of money, you believe that people would have bad and negative intentions towards you. Thank you. Spent a long time not smiling at all. Only recently. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Okay, so these are not ghosts. Straight up, you have aliens. Aliens and non-terrestrial, non-Earth entities are the ones who are causing these issues. It is oftentimes they are very ghost-like. They live in the same realm as the ghosts. They're neighbors to the ghosts, but they exist from more than this one small planet. And they come here for multiple reasons, oftentimes because of the exact alignment that a location has to the stars and to this planet in particular. So if you do sell and you leave, there will be negative aspects coming towards you. Yeah, these are fourth dimension aliens. They exist in duality, conquering, confusion, and manipulation. They're in reverse. They're not here to help. They're not here to rise your vibration. They're actually here to stagnate your energy. The longer you stay in that location, the less likely your power and your frequency will come forth. And know that if you do get the money and you do become wealthy, this is the Rasta Jack, the Jack of all mages. Know that your magic and your power is very strong and stronger than any of these negative vibrations that you will feel from an outside force. And a financial advisor that you trust, you should try an experiment. Try going somewhere else for a short period of time, maybe a few days or a week, and then come back and see what happens. Because there's a chance that these entities will follow you everywhere you go, and it has nothing to do with the house. But if you leave and nothing happens and you don't experience anything at all, then you know they are attached to the house, and then you feel free to sell it. But there's a good chance that Just one way to get rid of them, the one thing they do not like at all, is reggae music. The reggae music is so much passion and so much flair of life, and it's such a fifth dimensional type of music. They don't like it. So just another experiment is play reggae music a lot, at least 2 to 3 hours a day, and see what happens. A lot of these things will be changed. You might also sage, smudging, palo santo, some type of smoke to cleanse the house. Yeah, so play some Bob or Damian Marley and burn some sage or palo santo or any type of smudging. Reggae music. It is so it is the music from Jamaica and Jamaican music. So yeah, start with Bob. Bob Marley, powerful mage, very strong fifth dimensional entity, and other types of music in that similar genre. Also, white sage and palo santo are burning smudges. So by releasing smoke, controlled smoke within the house will cleanse these entities. Bows and Bubbles, thank you for the sub. I'll add you to the list right now. So it's probably not going to sell right now. It has to be cleansed at this time. You can sell it, and you can make that sell happen immediately by contacting different groups, paranormal groups, and have them come, and oftentimes they will offer to buy the house from you because they want it to be haunted. They want the entities there, but they will probably come with you, and because they're attached energetically. So again, something or some weird things happen. So my two recommendations is Bob Marley music, some reggae music, and smudging, either white sage, palo santo, incense, any type of controlled smoke release will get rid of these entities. If you want to completely get rid of them, or if you want to keep them, they might add to the value of the house to certain buyers. There's a lot of people who want spooky spots. So if they want the money, know that you can find attorneys, find different systems to protect the money. The thing that I recommend, because I have family like that as well, is put all the money in an investment. Put the lump sum of all the money invested away that you can't touch for years. Find a investment organization that is credible, that is that you do your research on and you trust. And just put the money away and say, oh no, I can't give you any money. That's all tied up in investments. I have nothing for you. You could also do what my grandfather did, is give people money in long-term bonds. So the idea is, oh yeah, you want money? I'll give you $500, but you have to wait 7 years for the bond to mature to get the $500. They generally don't like that. And they would just say, okay, I don't want anything at all. Because nobody wants to wait the 7 years to get the $500. They want it now. But if you say, hey, I'll give you a bond for $500, will come in 7 years when it matures. Well, the last thing I have to say to you is, when the negative aliens and entities show up, they oftentimes appear to be ghosts, appear to be spirits. But what they're doing is reminding you of something, some force that is more powerful. So if you work with the fifth dimension, ninth dimension, the entities that are unconditionally loving, the ones that always exist with kindness, with charity, they will magnify that back to you. So I hope that answered for you. Okay, sweetheart, you're up next. You can choose 1 through 7 if you have a question in particular, or I can choose for you. Yeah, giving people money in the form of bonds. Just say, hey, yeah, you want money? I'll give it to you in a bond that it takes a long time for it to mature. Okay. Do you want me to choose a deck for you? Number 4, gotcha. So you can tell me when to stop shuffling, or I'll stop when the energies compel me. And what are the current thoughts and feelings of HON? And everyone, thank you for your questions. I'll have Seashell Case be my last one for this video. So, sweetheart, their main current feeling is they are madly in love with you, but they don't know how to deal with it. They really love and care about you, and they want to be with you, but they don't want to get cut. They don't want to cut you. They're having a very difficult time with charity, giving their energies, giving their loves to others. They care about you and they want to be with you. They want to give to you, but they have these blocks. They have these negative things in their life that prevent them from giving you the service that you deserve and that you give to them. This is because their focus is entirely on making money right now. They care about you and they love you, but they do not want to let this love affect their money-making ability. They don't want you to change what they're doing. They think they're very successful. They think things are happening the most correct way, which is preventing them from being open to the beautiful love you offer to them. They're closed off, thinking that they cannot have both. They believe that love will affect their finances, which is false. So they care about you, they love you very much, and they want to be with you. But they do not want any of these things to affect their current state. They have a lot of fear about losing what they have built instead of opening it up to someone else. Their heart is closed, sweetheart, for this time being. But they still love you and care about you more than they can even imagine. And thank you all for the thumbs up. It really helps us fight the robots. And let them overcome their issues. They really much care about you, but they're letting their past relationships affect this relationship towards you. They're basically making assumptions on you based on the heartbreak they have experienced in the past. They're focused on making money, on wealth, and they're not open to love completely right now. But they really do care about you. They just don't know how to express it. It can be sad or it can't be. It's your choice. Know that the more you care and love about yourself, the more you will attract people who think that way about you as well. Oh yeah, there's a lot of selfishness showing up in the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles very much wants money for themselves and believe that that not everyone can be wealthy. Where the Emperor knows that everybody is allowed to be wealthy. And you, my friend, are an empress. A king is not enough for you. I hope that answers. So, JJ and Julie J, if you're here, you can ask your question in the chat. Tell me which deck, or I can choose for you. Much gratitude, sweetheart. Okay, JJ, I can choose a deck for you, or you can choose 1 through 7. Okay. Go deck 7. Will you get justice for what the Aries did to you? So, yes, you will gain justice. It will be through knowledge and information. You will learn a lot about the systems and the structures of this world. Just remember that you are the one who makes the justice happen. You are the magic. By studying, by scholaring, by learning more about your own frequencies and your own power, you will open up your heart and you will open up your love, and the justice will come forth from within outwardly. So just know that any terrible things that happen, all traumas and negativities are there for us to find the magic in it, to find the joy, to find the flow, and find the light that everything comes. Fire can either burn or illuminate. And oftentimes, once we get burned, we're better able to use that fire to light a candle. So you will find the justice. Just give yourself that victory now. Absolve them and detach from the outcome. Know that everything will resolve in the most perfect way because you're the one creating it. You're balanced between your two pillars of darkness, of hatred, of anxiety, and peace, love, tranquility, understanding. And there you are in the middle. You hold both frequencies and you mix them together to create magic, to create power, to create lightning. I hope that answers for you, JJ. One, two, 4. What will be the consequences of moving in with Jay? Okay, first consequence is there's going to be a storm of passion. There's going to be, the relationship will have more passion, will have more energies in it. This might burn, might hurt a little bit, but it's joy, it's passion, it's love. But it's also going to be in the grape shot. It's going to be a shot of passion, a new level of flow, of venom in the veins. The right dose, though. Just be open to change, be open to finding new forms and new things. Don't let the energies overtake you. But know that there's probably ghosts and spirits and geists and entities living in that spot, in that location. But you will be able to bring the most benevolent, the most positive ones in and bring power to you. So the main consequences is you're showing the universe that you're willing to change, which will bring ghosts, aliens, and all kinds of entities forward. They take many forms, and oftentimes it's an inversion, a change, a inward change within, where you become more etheric, you become more energetic, and you take that shot of passion, that shot of joy, and it will echo out for you. So the main consequence is new passion, new energy, and new light. But you will bring in, and you will have more experience with his darkness and his shadows and his ghosts. But you know how to deal with them. You know how to play the reggae music, how to burn the incense, and how to cast out these spirits and let the beautiful ones in. I hope that answers for you. So, bows and bubbles, if you were here, you can ask a question with like an energy forecast. You can choose one of the 7 decks, or I can choose one for you. So today will be the last day with 7 decks. Tomorrow I'm going to introduce an 8th deck. So I'll leave it up to a surprise until it shows up. So bows and bubbles and seashell case, you're up next. You got a question in particular, or just with like an energy forecast? You can type that here in the chat. No, it's not spoiled. I have a eidetic memory. I'm able to memorize things and have a very strong memory capacity and use of this memory that a lot of people don't have. It's one of my spiritual gifts. And oftentimes I just memorize pointless facts. So memorizing hundreds of unique messages from hundreds of unique cards helps me and helps this world. But I'm definitely going to cap it at 8. Those 8 might change over time, but yeah, I don't want to know 9. I think 8's the right number. That was always my intention, was to start with 7, to master my 8th, and then stick with 8 for the rest of my career as a reader. So give one more call here. Yes, the infinite number. 8 is the key to everything, and when an 8 becomes fractured, it becomes a question mark. But 7 is the hermetic number. It's a number of duality. There's 7 divine principles and 7 deadly sins. With 7, I can cover everybody, but not the infinite. With 8, I'm able to give infinite information. So call in one more time here. Bows and Bubbles and Seashell Case. You're up next with your questions, or just would like an energy forecast. May everyone who views this video now or in the future be reminded of tranquility exists when the waves stop. Even when the waves happen, even when a pebble is dropped in a pond, may not appear tranquil on the surface, but underneath, deep down, the tranquility exists forever, no matter what we are able to perceive. I will be right back. Then I'll check here on the chat for you all. Okay. Well then, this is the video. If Bows and Bubbles or Seashell Case come back, feel free to send me an email, linked in the description. And lives every day. Much love and gratitude.